Well, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Rant and Chill. I'm your host, Mr. Deadman. In this episode, we talk about the Ghislaine Maxwell verdict. Talk about Jack Murphy exposed as a cuck. That's old news. Now, apparently, it's been found out that he was in homosexual pornography and like to shove things up his, well, I want to try to keep this as family friendly as I can. Just things that an alpha male probably doesn't do, but it's been exposed that he does do that, and it's like, okay, we're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about Lindsey Ellis. Lindsey Ellis canceled herself. You know, she made a career trying to cancel others, trying to make a reputation and build up a platform, canceling others, and then when it's her turn to be canceled, she can't handle the heat, and she just quits YouTube. But for how long? For how long? First thing, though, before we get into all this, we're going to talk about the New York police overreaction, gross overreaction to the a little boy, a family and some kids that want to eat at Applebee's, okay? Now, Rant and Chill, the best way to watch is have a smoke, if you can, have a drink, if you can. So, are you ready? All right, let's go ahead and get this started here. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen. Now, you probably have already seen this before. You've probably seen it already. This is, of course, the image or the video of the boy being kicked out of Applebee's for not being vaccinated. It's crazy that a child has to show papers, has to show his papers, proof that he's vaccinated. Something that would be like, imagine some sort of like HIPAA violation or whatever. You know, it's crazy. And there's people that defend this stuff. A constitutional violation too. There's people that defend this stuff, but it's, you know, we're going to get into that. First, let's play this. Let's play this.
You just paid the saying that you can't serve, otherwise if you're not going to pay for it, you know, you have the card. I know, but you don't have it, then you're going to have to leave. And if not, you can send it right now. No, just had a minute. You're not going to stay here.
That kid doesn't have any passport. What? That child doesn't have a vaccine passport on him. He's like, what's going on? And look, let's look at this here. For those, anyone, I doubt that there's even like maybe 5 people in the chat or you know, that watch this to actually applaud what's happening here. But for those that do, what's wrong with you? Something broken in your head. Come on here. Look at the gross overreaction. Even if you were some lefty that was like, yeah, man, we need to have vax passports. Look at the crazy response. You have like how many officers? Let me ask you, how many police officers does it take to kick out a child? Right? What's going on there? What's going on?
Otherwise, if you're not going to pay for it, you know, you have the card. I know, but you don't have it, then you're going to have to leave. And if not, you can send it right now. No, just had a minute.
And while this is happening, real crimes are being committed. While this is happening, there's shooting going on, there's looting going on, there's probably being some sexual crimes going on, you know, women being beaten up in the street and probably, you know, taken advantage of in the street, you know, stuff that's happening, real crimes. And guys, let me tell you, like, you probably already know, like, the way I see this, I'm not for this. I'm not for the vaccine passports. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a gross overreach of power, a gross abuse of power. You don't need that. We don't need that. Okay. This is obscene. So the police will show up en masse for this. They'll show up en masse to bust up gatherings of the unvaccinated, kick them out of like businesses or whatever. But meantime, though, there's actual real crime going on. And when I say real crime, I mean there's actually real victims. Like bodies hitting the floor. Okay? Blood spilling on the street, okay? Oh, I'm gonna get a super code. Oh, I'm gonna get the Chinese code. What? Dude, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna feel bad for a little while, but you're gonna be all right. Had the flu before? The flu sucks, but you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right, unless for some reason, I don't know, man. There are people that die from the flu too, but man, part of me wonders, like, Kind of how? I mean, if you hydrate yourself and take care of yourself, and I'm saying this from drinking and smoking a cigar. I want to say take care of yourself. Know that, hey, when you're feeling bad, it's time to maybe pump up the vitamins a little bit. It's time to get the medicine you're going to need. All right. If you don't have that, if it's too late, you're too sick to go out, get help. Ask for help. Now, there has to be somebody that can take care of you. I'd imagine the only people who really die from that would have to be like isolated and really old, or like their immune system's like compromised somehow. Anyway, but yeah, I don't see this as being a crime, and neither do you. Reason people wouldn't. This is obscene. Like, so what? Someone who has COVID walks into an Applebee's, and you can't tell me the sort of person who goes to eat at Applebee's is actually concerned about their health. Come on, let's talk about the police showing up to make was it Burger King? The police showing up en masse to break up, to kick out the unvaccinated out of a Burger King. Out of a Burger King. Who in the right mind orders a Whopper and also cares about their health? I'm sorry, if you're going to a Burger King, that should... If you go to a Burger King and want to say, oh, but my health, oh, but COVID, shut up. just shut up. Just eat your fucking horse burger, okay? And stop talking, okay? Because obviously you don't care about your health. Right? I mean, it'd be like, imagine me, a guy smoking a cigar and drinking whiskey, being concerned about COVID, being concerned about getting sick. And even if I was concerned, even if you were concerned, it doesn't mean like other people have to be forced to be vaccinated and then be forced and have it be required to patron at a place. At a place of business. I mean, a mandate is not a rule of law. A mandate is just some decree from a governor. That's what's going on here, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I find this whole thing to be gross. Absolutely disgusting. And like I said, it is a gross overreach of power, an abuse of police resources, and a city that, let me ask you, is crime going down in New York, or is it going up? Right? What direction is it going in, right? What is Bill de Blasio, what does he seem more focused on? Stopping crime? Stopping looting? Stopping the shooting? No, he doesn't. He's not doing anything. He doesn't care about that. I don't think he cares about that. I don't think he cares about the lives, especially of poor people that are being victimized by true crime. I'm certain he doesn't care about the black lives that get kicked out of this Applebee's. What he cares about is making sure that his mandate is enforced. I gotta tell you, man, there's people who go out there who'll say that, this is not about the virus. This is not about COVID. This is not about health or anything like that. I'm starting to agree with them. I agree with them. I see something like this. I see somebody who is trying to enforce their power to show that they have power. And all these police officers doing this, all of them doing it, they are foot soldiers for Bill de Blasio, okay? They're enforcing his edict, okay? They don't get no excuse. They don't get no, they're just doing their job. Really? Really? If it's a crap job, you can out them for it. And the mom is, I think the woman over here with the dreads is black.
Traumatizing a child.
And all these white officers. If you want to make it about race, so easily could.
Hope you feel good about yourself, NYPD.
I don't understand why these people are still in New York. And some of these people are actually tourists. Some of these people are, they come from, I guess, neighboring cities or whatever. So they're not really fully aware that one particular place and that one area may require it, may require a passport. So they're not prepared for it, and they get kicked out by a show of force like this. Which, meanwhile, all these police, what else could they be doing, right? Come on. It is sick. It is disgusting. There's this video too. Same. I believe same incident, same time. Yeah, at the Applebee's, outside the Applebee's. Look at that. They brought like the whole force. They brought the whole force to inform. They brought everybody to crack down on those that are unvaccinated. Wow. I feel protected. Look at that. And all those cops, look at them. They sign up for a job. They sign up to keep the peace and protect. But you are foot soldiers, man. Gestapo. Fucking pawns being used. You know, I was streaming the other day on Twitch, and when I was thinking about something, I'm going to ask you guys here before we move on to Miss Maxwell. Guys, are police even really all that needed? You know, I'm not going on to defund the police, but wait a second. Whenever I think of a cop coming to bust someone for lighting fireworks, that's a waste of time. That's a goddamn waste of time. When I think of cops coming in and busting people for being unvaccinated, that's a waste of time. That's a goddamn waste of time. I think the only time or the only sort of crimes police should really be involved in, let's say murder, rape, property crimes like theft, vandalism. Sure. I mean, property is expensive. Property is money. That's investments right there. But these little things, like, let's go, like speeding. You really don't need laws about how fast you could drive. You really don't. You really don't need that. And you really don't need police to enforce that. I don't think you do. All that law is just a way for them to bring in some money. It's not needed. I don't see how it's needed. Maybe I'm wrong there. But I see it, man. I am seeing that the police are pretty much just used to crack down on fun. So what? So who cares if someone speeds? Who cares if someone plays loud music off their deck? What, you're going to be like a Karen and be like, oh, the loud music's bothering you? Dude, whatever. They're having a good time. Maybe they're having a barbecue. Whatever. Okay? Put some headphones on. I don't know what to tell you. Jesus. But they bring in the police to be like thugs and bullies cracking down on people trying to have a good time. If there's an actual victim and someone's actually a threat of getting hurt or their property being destroyed, okay, that I understand. But joyriding in a convertible, come on. And for those who be like, oh, but think of the kids. That's why there are speed bumps. If you put speed bumps around school zone areas, you're not going to be flooring it. You're not going to be going pedal to the metal. You're not. It takes care of itself. It's cheaper than a cop. Look, let me know what you think about that. You know, maybe in a future Rant and Chill, we could bring on a guest or someone so we could actually talk about that issue, kind of explore that more in depth. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of interesting. Okay. Now. Oh, actually, one thing too about this is I don't think they were read their Miranda rights. I think it's brought up here. Let's go, Brandon. Which, by the way, it totally sucks for the dad that did the Let's Go Brandon prank. That absolutely sucks for him. The way they treat him like he's some sort of criminal. The dad who did the Let's Go Brandon prank on Biden, dude, he did nothing wrong. That was great. And anyone who says, oh, but how dare you shame the president like that? Shut up. For 4 years, for 4 fucking years, blue check marks on Twitter and talking heads on mainstream media. He had actresses or Hollywood trash say in many ways, fuck Trump. Literally say, fuck Trump. Give no respect whatsoever. He had, what's her name? She's a comedian, I think. Had a bloody head of Trump that she drew up as like, what, a joke? That's artistic? What is it? What I'm saying is, Biden being pranked to say, let's go Biden, or sorry, let's go Brandon. That was funny. That was tongue in cheek. You know, that's our way. The common people pretty much saying, go fuck yourself. Because we can't literally say it. Otherwise, we'd be just labeled a terrorist. Because they're so fucking sensitive about the whole thing. They don't want anybody to criticize. They don't want anybody to criticize Biden, even though he deserves it. People on the left and people on the right both agree that Biden is a piece of shit and trash. If you're on the left, oh, you must hate him because he's not doing fucking shit for you. If you're on the right, you must hate him because, dude, things aren't going well. It's everyone, each team has many people who dislike Biden. Okay? You know, the lefties, they got duped. Of course they got duped. You're going to get your commie utopia? The closest thing you're going to get to that is the fascism that you wanted to avoid. But, you know, you'll get it. It'll just be rebranded as something else. Anyway. Yeah, I think there's that family. There's that family.
Why? Imagine going on to your bike and
All right, just be advised that unless you have your vaccination cards, all right, you cannot patronize this restaurant, all right? You will be voluntarily asked to leave, and if you will be arrested.
Now, I remember, and I did a couple posts on YouTube, and someone in the comment section said, "Oh, but what about, you know, the actual like manager, the people that called in the police? What about them?" And that's a good to point out. We could talk about that. They go fuck themselves. I mean, okay, if Applebee's or Burger King, they want to be like that and be like, report to the police, oh, we got some unvaccinated here, then I say that the people have the right to protest there. Yeah, sure, it's private property. They'll be kicked off. Will the police kick them off? Okay, they could test that. You can test that. And they have the right to test that. Definitely have the right to protest that. Of course, it'll be kicked off, put in a more public space, or just arrested for trespassing, which is what they're doing. The other thing I'll say is I just wouldn't be a patron of theirs anymore. I wouldn't. Like, the best way you could treat this, what New York City is doing and other places, is to just fucking leave. If there's no one to tax, if there's... that's getting ahead, right? First, if there's no one... If there's very few people to actually, do business with, then that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt business. They're gonna be hurting for that. That means less revenue, less tax revenue for New York City. And also, of course, if there's fewer people to tax. Get the fuck out of there. Don't all come to Texas. You know. Or just remember why you left.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You guys, what happened to the Constitution? What happened to free speech? What happened to all our liberties? God bless you.
Yeah, and you can't reason to those cops. You cannot reason to those cops like that. What happened to my liberties and Constitution and free speech? Those cops don't care. They don't care. They're just cashing a check.
God bless you.
You're a real American hero.
Did anybody read that?
That chick's black. That dude in the beanie's black.
Why are you witnessing? Nobody came up to us and told us to leave.
Or actually, it might be Asian. I can't really tell. The quality's kind of bad.
America. You can't just put people. They hate
They're just putting them all. They're booking them all. Put them in the paddy wagon. Great. New York. Yeah. Leave. Get out of there. That city does not want you. And guys, I said this before too on a previous stream. I think that all this is happening. The way the police are cracking down on this, the vaccine passports and all that, over something that's not even helpful. Over something that's not even solving or anywhere close to solving the issue with when it comes to COVID. Even if we were all to be vaccinated, we would still catch COVID. The virus would be alive in our bodies, and it would mutate. It would mutate and learn to adapt to where it could try to build up its resistance to the vaccine. That's how viruses operate. But Dr. Fauci says otherwise. All right, then there's other doctors that will tell you the same thing I told you, probably in a more intelligent way and more detailed. I mean, why is it that you could have pockets of population that are mostly vaxxed, but even them, within the vaccinated, are getting COVID and spreading COVID? And they'll say, oh, but it's mild symptoms and breakthroughs. Dude, some of them, those breakthrough cases, are also being hospitalized. My point in saying this is that it's not fucking working. And if I was one of those that was dreadfully afraid of COVID and was like listening and believing everything Fauci said and Biden said and was like, all right, be super hopeful and hoping that everything would work, I would be pissed and livid right now. I'd be fucking livid. The future Rant and Chills, I really try to not cuss so much. It's too late now. It doesn't work. And I like how fully vaccinated changes, right? I mean, right now it's vaccine passports. You gotta be vaccinated. What does it mean to be vaccinated? Oh, you gotta have 2 doses. And then later on, it's going to be 2 doses and then a booster. And then it's going to be 2 doses and 2 boosters. Then 3 boosters. Then 4 boosters. Because why step at 3? Why not just give 4? And be like, oh, that's excessive. That's exactly where we're going. Israel's already talked about doing 4 boosters. And there's a headline I saw where even some doctors are like, 4 seems kind of excessive. 4 seems like it might actually compromise you more. But those doctors are going to they're going to shut the up as soon as they're told to get back in line. Because no one has a spine anymore. You can be silenced, kicked off of social media, kicked out. And the reason why Twitter matters and Facebook matters, all the social media stuff matters, kicked out of the public square, man. Make it difficult for you to even say anything. If you're a doctor that says something that seems remotely controversial, they label you, man. They smear you right from the beginning of COVID, right from the beginning of the outbreak. Remember those 2 practicing doctors, 2 practicing physicians from Bakersfield, I believe, Bakersfield, California, presenting information that sort of conflicted with Fauci's. I remember them. I remember their videos being taken down. I remember those videos being taken down real fast. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It is a joke. But he can't talk about it. Anyway, I guess let's talk about Miss Maxwell. And the thing with Miss Maxwell, there's a deeper story to this, a deeper question here. So Ghislaine Maxwell, the Epstein squeeze, okay? She got convicted. As you know, she was in trial. You probably didn't hear much about it. Hopefully you did. Hopefully you're paying attention. But she was on trial for sex trafficking charges. and she's been found guilty. She's been found guilty of 5 of the 6 counts. The one thing that they couldn't pin her on, the jury couldn't really convict her on, was a charge about luring an underage person across state lines or something. What was it? Yeah, it was luring an underage girl. Okay, that one they couldn't convict her on. At least they decided not to. But the other charges, the jury found her guilty, facilitating and participating in sexual abuse of children. Now, during this trial, there were files that were opened, and files that were opened and revealed to the judge. I wonder if other people, probably just to the judge, I don't know. But now they're resealed, and you're not going to know about it. I think you're not going to know about it. And they're dark, dirty stuff, man. Miss Maxwell, she knew people. Like, she knew a lot of people, just like with Epstein. Oh, here's an image of Justice Chief Roberts. Chief Justice John Roberts. They're gonna make her disappear. Watch. I think she might face over like 65 years in prison, but I think what she's gonna get instead is 10 minutes alone with Hillary Clinton. I think that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be something like that, man. Because there's no way she's actually doing her time. They're gonna make her disappear. It's gonna be, watch. We're gonna read probably next week. Ghislaine Maxwell died of COVID overnight. Just got COVID, died of COVID overnight. But her COVID was very unusual because it had a gunshot to the back of the head or something. The autopsy would be like, well, this is a very unusual case of COVID. I didn't know, COVID comes with a gunshot wound. Never mind that. Yeah. There can't be anyone with an actual working brain that actually believes Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Come on. The evidence was overwhelming that there's some fishy shit going on there. You're just gonna believe the official narrative when you know that all sorts of people were tied and associated with that motherfucker, Jeffrey Epstein. He was given a light-ass fucking sentence for the shit he did. You know, he was on house arrest. Man. Yeah, the guards just fall asleep, cameras stop working, and he just hanged himself. In a cell that's like not big. It's not a big cell. He would have to what was it? Yeah, he would have to get on the top bunk and then have to flip off with enough force to actually crack his neck. Dude, it would not work. It would not fucking work. Yeah, anyway. But Maxwell. Yeah, she's been found guilty. Now, if you're thinking we're going to hear about other people, I doubt it. What do you think? There's no way. There's no way in hell they're going to let that happen. The odds are great. They're going to take care of her before she even gets a chance to reveal anything about anyone. I mean, they could unseal her, those court records for people to see. They could do that, you know. Oh, but they're not going to. It's funny how the FBI were protected. Oh, speaking of the FBI. So the FBI raided Epstein's Island. We all know that. We saw that. We saw that happen. And I mentioned before that, it's interesting how we don't hear about any arrests from that. The reason why we don't hear about any arrests following up from that, other than, Maxwell and all, as those tapes, those CDs, DVDs, and hard drives that were confiscated from a vault just disappeared. They just magically went away. They vanished. How does that happen? There's not some sort of fairy that comes around and destroys all the evidence. It's the FBI. They're corrupt. And they're protecting certain people. It's not, dude, it is not a conspiracy. It is not crazy out there. It is legit. It is real. You know it. How else can you explain? How else can you explain how, but gigabytes, probably higher than that, of evidence just disappearing, being deleted. Images of underage girls with certain people just gone. How do you explain that? It's cover up. Plain and simple. Now you guys know that. You guys are intelligent. You guys are smart. What I feel bad for are the people, and there are some, that are still willing to believe the official narrative. Be like, oh no, there's nothing to see there. There's no funny business. The FBI's on the up and up. How can those people exist? And I don't understand how they can function. It's like, stop down on those blue pills, take the red pill, and realize what's going on. Wake up. Yeah, they're gonna throw her. They're gonna throw her to the wolves. No, she's gonna disappear overnight. Super simple. Super simple. Now, we got to talk about Jack Murphy. See, last time I talked about Jack Murphy, it was exposed that he was a cuck. Now, look, let me go ahead and say this. What you want to do in your bedroom, that's on you. I really don't care what you do. But as soon as it becomes public information and I find it funny, oh yeah, I'm going to laugh at it. What I find funny here is Jack Murphy, the alpha male, the mega chad, the giga chad, the apex, the sexual apex. This guy is a leader of men. At least he tries to be. For what, $99 a month, you could join his chat where he tries to groom boys into men. Oh, that sounded wrong. It sounded like he's into something else. But for $99, you can be coached by this guy here about how to be an apex man, how to be a real man. While at the same time, Jack Murphy was into, well, letting other dudes bang his wife. Now, you could do a lot of things as a man and still be a man. Letting dudes bang your wife is not one of them. I'm sorry. For those that have that fetish and want to say that, oh yeah, I'm a man. I disagree on that. I disagree. You're gonna let other dudes violate your wife, the love of your life? Why? Because you get turned on by it? According to Jack Murphy, his thrill of that is that he knows that when she comes home, he gets the sloppy seconds and tries to have to impress her and remind her that he's number one. He's the alpha. Okay, Jack. But see, that's old news. That is old news. What we got to talk about now is that it's been exposed that Jack Murphy is not just a cuck, but he was also into gay porn, and that he dude, I cannot show you these images. I cannot show you any of these images other than I think this meme sums it best. Look, he did it to himself. Jack Murphy is not a victim of being harassed, okay? He's not a victim of being canceled. No one's going to cancel him. They're laughing at him. I mean, some people on the right are definitely not going to work with him anymore because of particular principles and all that. And that's their choice. He's still going to be on Tim Pool. Tim Pool's not canceled. You know, the whole thing's not canceled. Good for it. But the guy, dude, there's images out there, stills of screenshots of videos that are very graphic of dudes and then his wife naked and him soliciting for putting out there that he is into inviting transsexuals and other women and other men to come to their sex party. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. And there's an image of him shoving dildos. This is gross. Why am I talking about this? It's nasty. This is Jack Murphy. Man. And he's the pussy slayer, right? There's a line I want to remind you guys about. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't. You probably can't see that there. Very fine print. I need to maximize that image there. But the highlighted part, it says little girls. See, there's something about this that has yet to be explored fully because we only have so much information. If you want to be a cuck, all right, that's bad, but whatever. If you want to shove dildos up your ass and jack off to chatterbait, okay, whatever. Keep that to yourself. Not my business. Shouldn't never be my business. But if you want to talk about tying up little girls as some sort of sexual thing, you have a lot to explain for. Like the FBI. Well, it can't be the FBI. Maybe one of those vigilante groups need to sit down with you and expose you for what you are, and then give that information to the local police. Maybe the local police will actually do something about it. Jack Murphy. He says he likes to tie up little girls. Now, I'm thinking, and you're thinking, that means something pretty gross. What does Jack Murphy mean by that? I don't know. Gross, disgusting. But moving on from that, so Jack Murphy went on the Tim Pool show and he did try to explain his case. It was just a throne of lies. Just lies spewing out of his mouth about how, look, before Sydney Watson, because that's how this whole thing got exposed, was on Sydney Watson's show. Before it got exposed, he was on the show with Sydney Watson, and you know what? This video kind of explains it here. Let me play part of this.
Hey, merch. I don't know. You do you. Now, some of you may or may not be aware that I was involved in an incident on my show You Are Here with Elijah Schaefer on Blaze TV on our last episode of the year, which was on the 17th of December, for those of you who need all the details. It was, in fact, a beautiful way to round out 2021. It really gave me...
It was a beautiful way to round out. Indeed. It was great. Gave us a gift that keeps on giving.
The warm and fuzzies. I will play the clip, but for those of you who haven't seen it, and for context and a refresher, we brought on a guest called Jack Murphy, and the show was going really well up until the end when I was reading super chats, and I read one.
Normal, like it's not even. She's not even saying, I'm not gonna skip the name. She just goes, Mr. Dukenball said.
Could you please clear up the cuck article you wrote?
I am not going to talk about this.
Okay.
And basically, you know what? Fuck you for bringing this up right here and right now. Why are you doing this?
Okay. See, the way he explodes got our attention, got the internet's attention. The way Jack Murphy explodes is Sydney Watson there. Now he goes on the Tim Pool show and he tries to explain that, before they started, and he told him that there are certain super chats you shouldn't read, whatever. But apparently that didn't happen. Apparently this is a giant lie, which, doesn't surprise me.
This to me.
I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was.
Well, just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
Sorry, apologies.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Elizabeth,
Heartfelt.
Elizabeth Harris's.
He could have handled that differently. Could have just said, you know what? Yeah, I'm a cuck. I like what dudes being my wife. Now, we would still laugh, a joke, and other people probably distance themselves from him. But now he's all mad about it, pissed off about it. Own up to it, man.
It says, gonna miss the show, but have a good break. IHTAC, what's that? What?
Nothing. I'm literally just coughing. It's just an inconvenient cough.
So since this incident, a couple of things have happened, and while I initially had decided that I wasn't really going to comment publicly or say anything about it, just sort of let it run its course, some things have been said that I think misrepresent me and my actions, and I would like to clear those things up. A general rule of thumb with me is that I don't really like participating in drama, particularly when it comes to other content creators or commentators or whoever, simply because I really think it just detracts from what I do, which is to make content that hopefully can expose people to new ideas or change their mind, or, in the really long run, promote right-wing values and hopefully in some capacity be able to change the direction of the country that I live in. But when people say things about me or about a situation that I'm involved in that are blatantly untrue, or things that paint me in a
All right, so you got what she's saying. All right? That Jack Murphy is a liar, and she's about to play the clip where he's lying. We'll just get to that here.
We can talk about that. Yeah, for sure.
I think they're using, a lot of people don't like the article. A lot of people are using that because they're mad at you, but I think the anger comes from you yelling at Sydney.
Right. So here's what happened with Sydney. So I'm sitting on the show and we're talking and they're joking about reading super chats where people are building.
Okay. You're about to say something, which I believe is total bullshit. Dude, he's about to pay attention to what he's doing. He's trying to smear them by kind of like shaming them in a way that's kind of used as kind of like a lefty tactic. Watch.
Building like gas chambers, and she's reading out loud like, how did I build this gas chamber that didn't kill all the Jews that I was supposed to?
So now he's trying to say the show that Sydney Watson was on, the podcast that invited him on, is anti-Semitic, and they're talking about like gas chambers and stuff like Nick Fuentes sort of stuff. Are you kidding me? When was that? Where was that?
To kill, right? It's like insane, the super chats that she reads. And so I'm telling her this whole time, I'm like, hey,
she reads her super chats live on the show.
You might want to read all the super chats before you read them out loud, right? A little bit of a warning. And then she asked me the question about the article, and I answered it politely. I deflected. I was like, that's not me. It's 180 degrees from whatever that article says. And
dude, when we covered the article on this channel, the article's pretty disgusting. It is not 180 degrees of what you are. It is what you are. Just admit it.
I'd really rather not talk about it anymore. And then a couple minutes later, she literally asked me the same question all over again. And I cursed at her. I shouldn't have cursed at her. And I apologized, Sydney. I apologized to her that day and that night and the next day. And she accepted my apology. So I don't know why everybody's still butthurt. But I shouldn't have cursed at her. I should have just used amused mastery and just like laughed at her and dismissed her. But I didn't, because I had set a boundary and she crossed it. And
I don't think he made that known that he set a boundary.
And that's part of being a man too, is saying, here's my boundary, please don't cross it. And then she crossed it. And I told her that I didn't like it.
And Sydney's going to get into that too. Okay, let's get into that.
What was told to me, he thought that I was doing it deliberately, that I was trying to dredge things up and potentially embarrass him when that's obviously not the case. And I just don't operate like that. That's not what I do. I also want to highlight that at no point, not during the show, not before the show, not at any point in the entire time that I have known Jack, has it been told to me that A, this topic existed and this article in question existed, and B, that it was something that was off limits that we couldn't talk about. That was not stipulated. That was not brought up to any of us, not to me, not to Elijah, not to Brandon. This was not something that any of us knew about. So when these questions started cropping up, this was all new information to me. Jack said on Tim Pool that he made it very clear that he didn't want to talk about the article in question, and that he made that expressly clear to us, and we brought it up anyway. Here's the clip of him saying that.
A lot of the super chats we got about, you know, the Sydney and Elijah thing are people genuinely being like, I don't understand what that was. What happened?
With Sydney.
Yeah, they were like, what happened with that? What happened? But we addressed it.
Well, when the people clipped it, where all they see is me saying, cursing at her. But they didn't see the whole thing where I was like, let's not talk about that after I've addressed it. And then she brought it up again.
However, this was not said to us at...
All he did, if you watch the full clip, the first time Sydney's asked, or first time Sydney reads the super chat, he says, and that's something that's far from me. It's something I don't really want to talk about, whatever. But she read another super chat. She reads the super chat. It was a super chat, and it was pretty vulgar in the language. It wasn't like cussing or anything. It was like, so you would explain why you like to cook out your wife, and whatever. And then he gets triggered by that. I don't think she was trying to start anything. Look, I've had some shows I had guests on before, and if someone sends me a chat that's about a particular guest, I'm gonna read it, and if they find it offensive, okay, whatever. It's like, okay, well, I'm just reading this chat here. This is what someone asked. They paid the money for to ask it. Now, I do know something else though about this. Apparently, when Sydney Watson's stream was on, there was some other stream that was very much aware of it. Another stream that was very much aware of what was happening, and they had it in for Jack Murphy. So what was happening is that some other stream raided a Sydney Watson stream, which she had no idea. They had no idea what was going on, and they were purposely putting in the super chats to trigger Jack Murphy.
At any point during the You Are Here episode, here is a clip of that for you.
Because you guys are the advertisers. That's why we try to get through all of these and read all your
all right,
comments.
I got a few
Even
more.
if you're trapping me. No, I want to read this one first. Because I started it and I'm going to finish what I started. Anamorphosis says, Elijah, and I apologize for this in advance, Jack, asked Murphy about the article he wrote about literally cuckolding his wife. I wish I was joking. True alpha.
Wow. True. Wow, you went there with that.
And that smile, she just thought it was kind of funny. I mean, if I were to read a super chat like that, I would think it's kind of funny. Like, what is that? What is that?
I have absolutely no comment on that other than to say that whatever people's perception is about that, it's 180 degrees wrong. And it has nothing to do with people think what they're thinking it to be today.
Are we talking about sex right now?
Oh, actually, that clip is a lot better than what I just did. Well, what I said earlier. Because that's his first time. That's Jack Murphy's first time to react to the super chat. He didn't say, don't bring it up again. Okay? He didn't make it known, don't bring it up again. He just said, people have a misunderstanding about it. Okay. If I was the host, I'd be like, what's the misunderstanding? Because that sounds pretty juicy right there. What is the misunderstanding, Jack? What's going on? You all right, man? You did some things? What's going on, man?
Do you know what cuckolding is?
I totally thought
it's where you get a chicken and you hold it and you love it.
I just blanked out for a second.
You make more chickens.
I just blanked out for a second.
Stupid joke.
I support you having chickens.
We don't
have
kink
chickens.
shame.
I like chickens.
If you have a hen house, that's great. That's you should have your own eggs. Great.
We don't
supply,
kink shame.
Great for protein.
You are here does not kink shame. I want to bring that out that we do not kink shame.
And I believe that completely because just the way the guy sounds when he saw. I know nothing about.
If you don't want to have, if you hate women, don't want to have any sex at all, that's your lifestyle.
Nick Fuentes?
Or if you're a nude model, that's your lifestyle.
You can in fact be you can be both at the same time.
Or if you want to sleep with trans Elijah, Ellie Schaefer.
Literally,
if you want to breed
if
him,
you want to have
that's
sex
okay.
with my ankles, maybe. Kez might allow it.
Something to note here too is that Elijah and I read all of our super chats. It's the one thing that we do on the show. I think it makes a lot of our viewers really happy. I really get a laugh out of reading them, and we read all of them, even if they're me.
Okay. I played what I wanted to play there. Now, what's going on now with this? Because the quartering covered this. It started with the quartering covering it, and Nick Rekieta covering this as well. Jack Murphy feels like he is being victimized, that he's a victim of, he says he's a victim of revenge porn, but that's not true. You see, now, what I'm about to put on the screen here is hard. Look, that didn't even work. That doesn't even work right. Let me just read it. It says, my fiance and I are the victims of a revenge porn scandal by sexual predator. The quartering, he's a sexual predator? A close associate of Sydney Watson. Okay. Let's stop it right there. If you put your own pornographic content out there on the web and someone finds it, resurfaces it, brings it back to light, that's not revenge porn. Like, you did the porn. You made the porn. You produced the porn with your fiance or wife or whatever and the other bulls that were there. You produced that, okay? You're part of it. It's out there. And the same thing goes with Cassandra Fairbanks. I know she does the same thing where if people bring up her porn, try to make it resurface, you try to take it down saying revenge porn. That's not revenge porn. Okay? Revenge porn is when you have nudes or a video of your girlfriend or whoever, someone you're in a relation with, and they break up, or for some reason you want to spite them, you want to piss them off, you release that without their consent. If you release the pornographic content with your consent and it's out there on the web, people just find the video and share it. Dude, that revenge porn thing, that ship has sailed. But don't take my word for it. Go ahead, Jack Murphy. Go ahead and try to pursue legal proceedings, because I would love for this, because this would be an interesting lawsuit, especially if it's true that that Nick Rekieta is the quartering's lawyer, which I don't know if that's true or not. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Yeah. But Jack Murphy's also he's trying to set up a war room now. He's trying to set up a war room. Say, guys, this is war. I need help. I need someone to start a war room with people who are willing to do research. Find dirt. Find dirt. Oh. So okay, you want to play their game. If you want to play their game, don't complain about it. This guy posted revenge porn of my wife. That's not revenge porn. You posted that porn. You did it. They just found it. That's a crime. He has incited violence against my wife. No one has incited violence against your wife. I wish your wife the best. If anything, according to your own article, you guys kind of like violent stuff happening in the bedroom or with other guys. Like Mundane Matt. But, whatever. He went to war room. Sexual apex, right? The pussy slayer. The Giga Chad. Like I said, for $100 a month, you could learn how to be an alpha male like this guy. What do you think about that? Pretty sad. Pretty sad how they fall. How far they fall. I guess. I mean, a couple weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, the only thing I knew about Jack Murphy was that he was a frequent guest on Tim Pool's show. And that he had a beard. That Tim Pool chastised him about getting his kids vaxxed and all this stuff. Anyway. Now, let's talk about Lindsey Ellis. Lindsey Ellis canceling herself. It's bound to happen. Put the image there on the screen. This was definitely bound to happen. That is your fate. Look, Lindsey Ellis for a good while now. I know she started off in Channel Awesome as Nostalgia Girl, which never really went well for her. I know there was a video out there a long time ago of her doing a rape rap. That video is hard to find. You can't find that anywhere. That'd be gold if you could. But she has for a good while been very, very progressive and on a campaign to cancel others for either partnering with someone who is a woman and said some choice word about feminists or trans people, whatever, or is a feminist, but is like they call them TERFs. I was going to say turds, but they call them TERFs. It's a stupid term. So even if you work with somebody who is a feminist but doesn't see it possible for men to become women, just by saying that they are or whatever, if you think that women by birth is actually a woman, all that stuff, then you have some issues and you need to take down your video. You need to pretty much follow the teachings, follow the religion of the ultra progressive. If you step out of line of that. Step out, then you will be harassed by Lindsey Ellis. Lindsey Ellis had it happen to her when she made some comment about, was it Raya the Last Dragon? I don't know. Some stupid controversy. Honestly, if it happened to me or someone else, it'd be like, what? I mean, what she said wasn't even all that crazy. I think she pretty much said that, look, what was it? The Raya looked like Airbender or something? That she could tell the difference? Okay. I mean, shit. A lot of anime looks the same. You just show me a random screenshot of an anime. I could tell you which anime that is. Be like, looks like any one of them. I don't know. That's not me being racist or being mean in any sort of way. It's just me being like, dude, like they look very similar. Come on now. I don't know. But now she's canceled. And she canceled herself. Put a post out there. She put a post on her Patreon, but she took it down. Well, no, she didn't take it down. She put it behind a paywall. So now if you want to see it, you have to pay for it, or you can just find an archive or go to a forum and read it, which is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do that. So her post pretty much, this was going to be a YouTube video, but I just don't have the time to invite that kind of scrutiny to be the last of the sick, sad line of YouTubers who get all weepy on camera and cry about how they just can't do this anymore. Boo hoo hoo. I had planned to move video content to Nebula, but I realized now that doing that is just keeping wounds wide open. My life ended 9 months ago. What has been taking up bandwidth ever since has been a ghost. It's almost funny how many people will insist that I have lost nothing, because subscriber count is the only metric for success and cancel culture doesn't exist. Except that she admits that it does here. One YouTube channel chugging along on an algorithmic inertia is not success. It's just an engine driving on fumes. Damn, she's harsh on herself. Many will say this is being melodramatic, that my life isn't over. Yeah, there was absolutely nothing stopping me from brushing myself off, building up goodwill, and shutting up and playing the game. Except that when she made her comment about Raya the Last Dragon, I think her friends that were close to her couldn't associate with her anymore. See, when the left cancels it happens on both sides, I suppose, because we just talked about Jack Murphy, and there's some people on the right that are disassociating, like, I'm not going to work with you, but not everybody. You know, there's some people that are like, look, I don't really care, I just find it funny, like Nick Rekieta, The Quartering, or myself. Like, Jack Murphy wanted to come on and talk about this cuck life. Sure, maybe we could have a debate. Maybe he can convince me that, you know, cuck life is the alpha life. All right. Maybe that's possible. I would entertain that. I'm not going to shun him. But when that happens on the left, oh, if you say something racist, or someone said you said something racist or perceived as racist, oh, you're tarred and feathered, and we can't even associate with you at all. We can't be seen around you. You bring down our status. All right, she goes on to say, and I tried that. In a way, I suppose it's good that I did. Because I needed to learn the hard way that was never going to work. There is no unfucking this. You can't find the energy if there is nothing left to convert it to. You can't be a better person if you are nothing but the hollow shell of one. 2021 has been the worst year of my life. I am traumatized by it. To this day, I still have people scolding me by how I handled it. That I should have handled it differently. That I should have controlled my stands. As if I had the capability to know what any of these people were even saying to strangers on Twitter while I was shitting blood for weeks. Ugh, gross. Ugh, what the? This is just too. I should have read this in advance. That's gross. What? Gross. Absolutely disgusting. Why did she put that in there? Oh my God. I was pooping blood for weeks on end. The worst thing about this whole year yet is that I can't even admit this trauma because oh God, yeah. I was scared of reading this now. I'd rather talk about Jack Murphy's gay porn. All right. I might just skip this paragraph altogether. I reread the 2015 essay, Hot Elastic Load, for the first time in years last night, and I could not stop crying. Even reading some of these passages now, I can't stop crying. This was written from the perspective of a trans femme, and discusses some rhetorical devices used to demonize trans women specifically, which obviously does not apply to me, but some of it is spot on. See, I'm going to stop right here. Because even with this statement, the people that she was friends with, the people that are in her circle, would already target her and attack her, be like, hey, whoa. You saying you identify with the pain of a trans person, but you're not trans. And she's like, I know, but it applies to me. No. It doesn't apply to you at all. Like, that's how they think. Like, there's no real nuance. And not from what I've seen anyway. Let's see. It goes to say, one of the most common tools of exclusion is through mobbing, which is rarely talked about because unlike rape, murder, etc., it's not easy to pin it on a single person or scapegoat. Mobbing is an emotional abuse practiced by a group of people. We know what mobbing is. Gaslighting, rumor mongering, and all that. Dude, that's nothing new. That's like middle school stuff. It happens too. She's saying this, but she did the same thing to others. She would mob on others. She would target others. Like, I don't have any sympathy for her because she did the same to others. How can you complain about being targeted and being harassed for the things you've done when you've done the same thing to others, man? Now, there's one paragraph I definitely want to read here, and it's this one. I think it's the most important. Feminist queer spaces are more willing to criticize people than abusive systems because they want to reserve the right. Okay? So feminist queer spaces are more willing to criticize people than abusive systems because they want to reserve the right to use those systems for their own purpose. So when she says criticize people, she means criticize people within their own circle. At least attacking people can be politically viable, especially in a token system when you benefit directly by absence, where your status is as good as a feminist is dependent on constantly rooting out evil. When the bounty system calls for the ears of evil people, well, most people have a fucking ear. She's been warned about this before. She's been warned that, look, the people that you associate with, the people in your circle, they're going to come after you. They're going to come after you if you say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. They're going to come after you in a way that's relentless, in the way they're not. It's going to be bad. The thing with the Jack Murphy stuff, that's a laugh. We're all having fun. It'll be short-lived. So he's laughed at. Okay, all right, it's done. You know what? The liminal order or whatever it's called, it might take a dent, but people are still going to go to Jack Murphy. Some people are probably not even affected by it. They probably still see him as an alpha. Look, if a dude can take something in the ass, he must be tough, right? I guess. So they'll listen to him. A dude who can, I guess, resist crying while his wife is being plowed and still think of him as a man. Well, he has to be an alpha, right? Well, I guess. So there's people who are still going to circle around him and support him. But on her side of things, it seems different. It seems a lot more vicious. So she's disappeared. Lindsey Ellis. The mob has come for her. She did it herself, though. She did it herself. What I want to ask, guys, is there a Deadpool for Channel Awesome? For Channel Awesome, I guess, leftovers? The remnants of Channel Awesome? Like, Spoonie's still alive. He's dealing with depression or whatever he's suffering from. Mental health issues, definitely. I mean, let me ask you. Between Spoonie or Lindsey Ellis, who is most likely? Who's most likely to make themselves disappear in real life? To cancel themselves in real life? Dark. I know, dark. I hope it doesn't happen. But I can't stop them, can I? My final note on this is once again, Dark Side Phil surpasses someone else. Okay. So yeah, that was Lindsey Ellis there. I think we covered everything we needed to talk. Oh, there's one last thing. This is, I don't even know, man. All right. I don't even know what this is. I might make this a standalone. I'm gonna make this a standalone video. I'm gonna do that. What I'm about to talk about. All right. So this is Rant and Chill. Oh, it's much better to do it live. I actually have the chat and the feedback. I hate doing it pre-recorded. I did that because I'm not going to stream Friday night. It's New Year's Eve. Okay? Right? Because that's how these things go. That's how Rant and Chill is supposed to go. That's the vibe, you know? I'm missing that feedback. Need that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this. Hey, if I said something you don't agree with, that's okay, man. Let me know in the comment section. If I said something that you do agree with, let me know. Okay? Let me know, and you take it easy. Have a good one.